Have you thought it would be nice to know the temperature in your house across all rooms? Luckily, it's effortless to do for less than $10. How? Yesterday, Raspberry Pi announced a huge sale. They sell their Wi-Fi board for $7 only, which is awesome since we can easily transform it into a portable Wi-Fi thermometer. Moreover, they've made development really accessible. No overcomplicated programming in C or C++ is required anymore. Anyone can code for it using Python. Today, not only will we read sensors data, but we will also transmit it to the Wi-Fi network and read it from a mobile phone. Yes, anyone in the local network will be able to see the temperature in real time. Let's build it. Step 1 is to buy a Raspberry Pi Pico and DS18B20 sensor. It is the most popular sensor and it costs around $2. To use the sensor we must add a resistor. We don't need to buy it separately because it comes in the kit. While it's being delivered, I can create a project using Visual Studio Code. First, I'll open an empty folder. Then I'll navigate to Settings and open the Extensions menu. In the search bar, I'll type Python and install it. Next, I will add Raspberry Pi Pico and MicroPython plugins. It's time to test it, and I'll create an empty Python file and name it main.py. Then I will add a line that prints a hello world. To connect to the Pico board, I'll go to the View menu and select Command Palette. In the new window, I will search for the connect action from MicroPython. Once the connection is established, a notification will confirm it, and I will be ready to run the code. The MicroPython plugin appears in the bottom bar with several buttons. Pressing all commands opens a drop-down menu showing all available actions for the plugin. For my case, I'll upload the project to the Pico. After that, I'll press Run to execute the file. The hello output confirmed that the Raspberry Pi Pico is working as expected. Now it's time to speak about a thermosensor. Here is the Pico pinout. The first option is to connect it through a module that has an integrated resistor. This is the option if you don't want to solder anything. The second option is to solder a resistor between the red and yellow wire of the temperature sensor. Either of these options will work the same way, so you can choose which one to use. I preferred using a resistor because it's more compact, so I soldered the sensor directly to the Raspberry Pi Pico to minimize its size further. I could have used a breadboard, but I dedicated this sensor permanently to the thermometer. Additionally, I've made a case in Fusion 360, so anyone can download it and print the same. With the hardware ready, I can move on to the software. I'll use a framework that includes some helpful classes for this task. First, I'll open a local terminal and clone the code. You can find the link in the description below. To edit, I'll run the command git init and then git submodule add and paste the repository URL. After that, the ITK Pico folder will appear in the Explorer, and we will start using it. Before diving in, let's look at the temperature.py file. This class initializes the sensor and includes a method to read its temperature. The further implementation is simple. Step 1. Import the class. Step 2. Create a new instance passing the pin number as a parameter. Step 3. In an infinite loop, print the current temperature. To avoid excessive output, I'll add a 10-second delay between readings. That's it, let's run the code. The next challenge is to connect to the local network. To do this, I will add a Wi-Fi connection. I prefer keeping things simple, so here is the process in 3 steps. Step 1. Import the Wi-Fi class. Step 2. Create an instance of it and call the connect method using the Wi-Fi login and password. Step 3. In a loop, verify that the connection is still active. Since I don't know who will receive the message, I'll use broadcast messages to notify all devices connected to the same Wi-Fi network. To set up the broadcast, let's break it down into effortless steps. Step 1. Import the UDP class. Step 2. Create a new instance with a port number. For example, 5468. Step 3. Import a function to determine the broadcast IP address. Step 4. Use that function with the Pico's IP address and subnet mask. Step 5. Create a message to send. Step 6. Convert the message into a JSON string. Step 7. Send the JSON message to the broadcast IP address and the defined port. That's all for the Pico setup. Now I will run the code to test if it works. I can see in the terminal that the message was sent. Let's see if we received it on the laptop. I will use Wireshark to filter all UDP messages to a specific port. Here I received a few messages with JSON that the Pico had sent to me. They match the messages shown in the terminal from the Pico. So everything is working as expected. Now it's time to use a cross-platform application to display the data. As usual, baby steps will help me. Step 1. Open a new terminal window. Step 2. Copy the repository URL with all the code and clone it locally. Step 3. Open Android Studio, press Open Folder and choose the Kotlin-Multiplatform folder. Step 4. Open a terminal and run gradle run command. In a moment, the desktop app will be opened. One more moment and it will receive a message and show a temperature from the sensor. To run the app on an Android phone, I can simply connect the phone to the laptop and press the run button. Finally, I can open the Kotlin-Multiplatform folder from the repository, then the iOS app folder, and then the iOS app.xcode project file with Xcode. It has the run button to build and install the project on iPhone. We can add as many sensors as we want, and we did it under 10 minutes for less than $10. Isn't it awesome? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Cheers!